Hi, it's Maggie again. This week we're going to talk about keyword searching in academic databases. You're not going to be an expert researcher by the end of this video. I just want to give you some basic background information about why you have to search databases a certain way.
Keyword searching is a term that means you, the researcher, are supplying words you've thought of to search for the information you need. Keyword searching in academic databases is a skill you need to learn because academic databases don't work like most other technologies you've used before. Academic databases are very precise and need to be searched in a specific way. Do you remember last week how I said that the techniques you use to search Google generally don't work with academic databases? There are a couple of reasons behind this. First, Google is a multi-billion-dollar product that uses the most advanced technologies. One of these technologies is called semantic searching. Semantic searching uses a series of algorithms or sets of rules computers use for making calculations to take regular human speech and make guesses about what we mean from the words we've used. For example, if you search products vets recommend for dogs with fleas, Google is not just searching for websites that contain these exact words in that exact order, but also related words, ideas, and meanings based on what computer engineers know about the English language and the way people speak. Based on this search, Google would be able to pull up a website titled Best Over-the-Counter Treatments for Common Pet Parasites, even though both the words and the phrasings are different. This is what makes Google such a useful search engine for finding information on the web. The second reason the way you search Google won't work for databases is that Google typically makes every word on a website searchable. This is called full text indexing. Databases tend to work differently because they usually don't use semantic searching or their semantic features aren't very good. And most of the time, only the article records, which include the title, author, and abstract, but not the full text of the article, are indexed and therefore searchable. So using the same example, if you were to search articles about products vets recommend for dogs with fleas, a database usually can't make the leap that an article published in a veterinary magazine or journal titled Best Over-the-Counter Treatments for Common Pet Parasites would be useful for you because none of the words are the same. At the most basic level, a database takes the exact words you provide and searches for them in the title of the article, the author's name, and in the abstract of the article. And that's it. And even more confusing to new searchers, the order words appear in and the words you use to connect them can change your search results drastically. So, here are a few tips for searching databases to remember when you're assigned a research assignment. Don't enter your search the way you would communicate it to another person by typing in a full phrase or sentence or question. Instead, you want to break your question into its most basic concepts. Products, veterinarians, recommend, dogs, fleas. Then brainstorm about synonyms or related words or phrases that might appear in an article on that topic. For example, for products, you might also mean treatment or medicine, or maybe you want to get more specific, like shampoo or topical gel. The way you enter this into a search field is kind of like a math equation. You can put related words in parentheses with the word or in between them to signal to the database that any of these words will work, and then link the other words together with the word and to mean that you need all of these other words to appear somewhere in the title or the abstract of the article. This example is just to illustrate that keyword searching in a database is not a common sense skill you'll come to college already knowing how to do. And because it's actually a complicated skill for new students to learn, you'll very often run into dead ends in your search. You might think a database has nothing on your topic. This usually isn't true. The results the database returns has everything to do with the keywords you've supplied and the way you've entered them into the search feature. What I want you to take away from this is, don't get frustrated. Stay flexible, try different combinations of words, and remember that your librarians are experts on academic research, and we're always here to offer you help and guidance.